Come and take a ride with me. Welcome to my podcast. Call Wrestling Pedigree. It's the Rotz Report. Wrestling Pedigree.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Rotz Report. 14th episode so far, so that's crazy in itself. I'm your co-host, Matty, and along with me is the man who I think got most of his predictions right last night at TNA Genesis, Christopher Ross. How are you, sir?
I am doing good on this fine Sunday, as we're going to be talking to you guys what all went down last week in wrestling and get you guys ready for another week with wrestling as we're fast approaching on the road to the Royal Rumble, and we're going to get our start on the road to WrestleMania. I'm looking forward on talking to you guys, and always say yeah to NoDQ.com, and also follow Wrestling Pedigree everywhere.
I love it how you did the plug for No DQ and Wrestling Pedigree. That was brilliant. Massive shout out to Aaron Rift and Noah Foster also. Let's get straight into it, as it's been another busy week in professional wrestling, and let's get into Monday Night Raw, where it was a really, really hectic Monday Night Raw, where there was phlegm coming out each other's mouths and great professional wrestling in the ring. What's your take on Monday Night Raw?
My take from last week's Monday Night Raw, it was a good show from top to bottom. I enjoyed the opening segment with the Women's Tag Team Championships. Happy for Rhea and Io as they are going to continue their reign as champions. And they announced a triple threat number one contenders match where the winner will go to Saturday night's main event this coming Saturday to battle for the Women's Tag Team Champions. We had the Kabuga Warriors. We had Liv Morgan, Roxanne Perez, and also Bayley and Liv Valkyria. I knew they were going to give it to Liv and Roxanne. They're the new team right now, as Raquel Rodriguez is going on a singles run. Happy for her. Do I expect a title change on Saturday? I don't really know. I don't want to give any of my spoilers out for my predictions, but I will tell you my predictions on Saturday's broadcast. And also what I got out of Raw was Javon Evans got his first main roster victory over, I'm going to say, one of the Americanos.
You're right,
Bravo Americano. And then what else I got out of Monday Night Raw? Oh, CM Punk's promo and Finn Balor came out. I was shocked that we saw Finn Balor, and Finn Balor challenged CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship, which that will be taking place tomorrow night on Monday Night Raw from Belfast, Ireland, and it's going to have a special start time in the United States of America at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, live on Netflix in the States. That's going to be a banger match tomorrow with Punk and Balor. I do expect CM Punk to retain the World Heavyweight Championship tomorrow, as he'll still be the champ come WrestleMania time. And then the main event, Gunther and AJ Styles. I knew Gunther was going to have some tricks up his sleeves, but I am happy that Gunther got the win. He cheated to win. And what do I expect coming out of this? I feel we may be heading towards another match between Gunther and AJ Styles. Do I feel this is going to culminate at somewhere? I do feel it's going to culminate at WrestleMania. So that's where I see things going with both Gunther and AJ Styles. But overall, Raw was good. And also tomorrow on Monday Night Raw, we're going to get Becky Lynch versus Maxine Dupree for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. So, Matty, what is your take on Monday Night Raw? And what time will Monday Night Raw begins tomorrow for you in the United Kingdom?
In the United Kingdom, in the uh, Northern Ireland, I think in Belfast, I think it's 8 o'clock. Yeah, 8 o'clock p.m. Obviously on Netflix. I thought Raw was really good. I was a bit disappointed with the crowd, especially in Dusseldorf. It was a bit lackluster for me. There was a lot of complaints online about it, and yeah, I wasn't a fan of the crowd. However, the kicking off with Rio, who has a new T-shirt out on WWE Shop, was really good. Triple threat, the Judgment Day facing them at the Saturday Night main event. Kind of weird they did that because of what happened on SmackDown, where we'll discuss that. But yeah, Northern Ireland is going to be right behind Finn Balor tomorrow against CM Punk. I'll be very surprised if Finn wins. But the way they're going on, doing fresh starts before WrestleMania months, the road to WrestleMania, I could see it upset a little bit. Maxine versus Becky was a build-up during the Raw. I'm kind of bored with that now. It's 6 matches now. I think this will be the 6 matches tomorrow. Kind of bored with it now. However, you glossed over a little bit, but I really want to talk to you about this. The suspension of Braun Breaker and his tussle with Adam Pearce. What do you say about what's your take on that?
I was just like, you got to be kidding me. They suspended Braun Breaker because of all of the stuff that he's been doing. This is the thing. Adam Pearce, he put his hands on Braun Breaker first. So this is Adam Pearce's fault. And he reacted. Yeah, they did a good job. They did a good acting job and selling the storyline with Braun Breaker. But I feel what's going to happen is Braun Breaker is going to come back during the Royal Rumble. And I am going to say this. I'm going to stick to my guns and say I feel Braun Breaker is going to win the 2026 Men's Royal Rumble match.
Wow.
I do feel Braun is going to win the Rumble match, and Braun is going to be the World Heavyweight Championship after WrestleMania. No guarantees. This is Braun Breaker's time, and the future is now with Braun Breaker in WWE.
But that is a massive prediction. Massive prediction. I kind of agree with you on the Royal Rumble. It'll be good to see Braun Breaker. I think Braun Breaker deserves the world title. I think he's been outstanding the last 2 years on Monday Night Raw and NXT. So I do hope he does win the world title at WrestleMania. Punk's had it since December. He'll keep it until he'll keep it until WrestleMania. So yeah, I think it was a good role and it made fun.
You brought up about CM Punk. He won the championship on Saturday, November 1st, 2025 against main event Jey Uso. Yeet.
Yeah, it's crazy that with Punk, I was surprised Punk beat Breaker. I'll give you that. But the build up now to Finn, I mean, people were complaining about Finn stepping up because he's only had 2 matches in the whole 2025 and lost both of them, single matches. So he's not had the best year, but he's a legend. He is a legend. So I hope they give us a really good match.
I feel sorry if I'm cutting you off here. I feel, you brought about Finn Balor. I feel the match is going to be good tomorrow, but I'm going to take it a step further. I have a gut feeling we're going to be seeing the return of Dominic Mysterio, and he's going to accidentally cost Finn Balor the World Championship tomorrow night. And where I see all this going is I feel they're finally going to pull that trigger on Finn Balor going on a babyface run, and I see Finn Balor taking on Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania.
Wow, I would love to see that match. I'd love to see Dominic get his comeuppance, so hopefully that happens. But Dominic has got like a lot of figures in pies because he's got AAA. He's got to face Hiko now after AAA #1 contender match last night. So yeah, he's got a lot of enemies in front of him. I don't think he needs to start on Finn Balor. What's your take on the next night on Tuesday, NXT? I thought NXT was really good, great matches. I love all the stories. I mean, to have a lot of the Evolve, like Shawn Legacy on and Carter coming on, it made me feel that NXT will be all right without all the big call-ups happening. So I am looking forward to what the new era of NXT will be in the next couple of months. What's your take on NXT?
My take on NXT, I got to try to remember what all happened. I know Ava announced that we're going to get a 6-man ladder match to crown the NXT championship. That is a brilliant idea to do a ladder match for that championship. And we're going to get this coming Tuesday with Shawn Legacy versus Eli Knight. Yes. And then also Shiloh Hill versus Josh Briggs in a qualifying match. Those two matches are going to be really good to watch on Tuesday. And then Joe Hendry, Dion Lennox. That was a good match. And then Tony D'Angelo coming out. That I feel with this Tony D'Angelo character is like confusing. What does he want? We haven't heard him talk in a very long time. I feel he needs to explain his actions on why has he been doing this? Why has he been doing that? I would love to see Tony D'Angelo have a microphone and speak about why he's been doing what he's been doing. But time will tell. We know about OTM. I feel OTM is now going to be going after the tag team championships. Do I expect OTM to get the tag team champions? Maybe. But if not, then I feel NXT needs to get more tag teams and build the NXT tag team division up good. But overall, NXT was good, and I feel the future is going to look bright as the new faces of NXT come on board.
I totally agree. And I did like the segment between Ethan Page and Ava, where they discussed, and Ethan Page wants to be in this qualifying match for the 6-man ladder match for the NXT title, but Ava said, no, you're defending your North American Championship next week against Elo LaFleur. I've seen Elo wrestle before, and it's just going to be a banger match tomorrow on Tuesday. Like you said, Shawn Legacy and Eli Knight, Shona Hill and Josh Briggs this coming Tuesday. We have Vanity Project of Brad Baylor and Ricky Smokes versus Chase University. But there's one thing you've forgotten, sir. #1 contender match for the Knockouts, TNA Knockouts World Tag Team title shot. For some reason, they're doing this way. It's a 3-way tag team match of Soruka and Zara versus Fatal Influence, which is Reed and Haney, and then Rings Sinclair and Kendall Gray. What's your take on them promoting the TNA Knockouts tag team titles?
I feel it's great that they are promoting TNA because we still got this partnership going on with WWE and TNA, who I would expect them to get a shot at the tag team champions. I'm just going to go out the limb. I did the forum on MWL. So MWL, I got my forum done for you guys. I have Soruka, and Zarya to pick up the win on Tuesday night to go and challenge for the TNA Knockouts Tag Team Championship. So that's also my prediction on that. And also, we saw the return of Jada Parker this Tuesday. I'm happy that she's back, and I'm going out the limb. I feel it's time that they put a championship on Jada Parker in 2026.
Oh, totally agree on that. I think this feud with her and Blake will be very well. They'll be very, very good. Let's jump on to which has caused a lot of trouble on the IWC and everything going online this past week. TNA on their debut show, the impact on AMC. What's your take on TNA?
I just feel overall it just wasn't a great show, to be honest. And yeah, it was the first show on AMC, and they are on a TV network. So we just got to wait things out to see if it will get better. And I promise you it will get better. Just look what we saw on the first NXT on the CW. Was that a good show? It was a good show, but overall, they had to work out some kinks, but overall, things are starting to get better for NXT, and I feel the same way things are going to get better with TNA on AMC. My take on it is Mike Santana finally got that TNA World Championship back. I'm finally happy. He finally got that championship that he totally deserves. This will be his second reign as TNA World Championship, and hopefully they just go with it and have him have a nice, solid run. AJ Styles kicked off TNA. Happy that he came back for the debut show. And also, we had some surprises. We saw Daria Ray, the former known as Sonya Deville, in WWE. And also, my Thursday nights are finally going to be complete. I got to see Elena Black. I'm happy that she's back in professional wrestling, but she's in TNA. I do expect them to put the TNA Knockouts Women's Championship on Elena Black. She deserves to be champion, and hey, she deserved to be the NXT Women's Champion, but WWE, they didn't put the championship on her. So hopefully TNA can put a championship on her because she deserves it 100%. And I will always back up my two favorite girls. My first girl on Tuesday nights are Blake Moreau, and my second girl is Elena Black on Thursday. So I got Tuesday was Blake, Elena on Thursday nights. But I do expect, I feel TNA is going to be surprising us a lot more in 2026 because I feel TNA is going to have a big year in 2026 with a partnership with WWE. And I do expect WWE to buy TNA and have them be an acquisition. That's where I see things going. And I feel Daria Ray, with her signing Elena Black, she's going to sign another superstar. And I was talking to my brother about this. Me and him both agree. I feel Daria Ray is going to make a phone call to her best friend, Mandy Sakamura, a.k.a. Mandy Rose. I feel she's going to be on her way back to professional wrestling, and I wouldn't be shocked if she comes to TNA down the road. And then we saw Mr. Elegance. That was, I'm going to say Mr. Elegance is going to be the most weirdest character I've ever met in my entire life. So
even more than like the Doink the Clown.
yeah, we'll go with that. But overall, it wasn't a good show, but hopefully this Thursday on TNA Impact, things could get better for them moving forward.
I agree. I think it really helped. We'll talk about this in a minute about TNA Genesis. I think the debut show wasn't for the loyal wrestling fans. It was for the new viewers at AMC. They had to get their attention. They had to show what they're like. There was packages on what the X division is like. There was loads of packages. There was loads of drama just to suck them in. And then I feel the following Impact, this Thursday Impact, we will see TNA back to normal and having more wrestling matches. There was only 3 wrestling matches on the debut show. We had the Hardys and Elijah beating Order 4. We had the Elegance brand defeating the Inspiration, and also, like you said, we have Mike Santana recapturing the TNA World Title. I do feel really bad for TNA during the show because they had a lot of visa issues. Danny Luna and Leon Slayer, but for Leon Slayer, he was in the UK during the helping out the WWE tour. What's your take? So Santino introduced, as you said, Dora Ray as his new assistant, but then she just went full heel on him, and then brought out Elena Black, who signed a 1-year contract with TNA. Do you feel you think Mandy Rose will come back? Do you feel it'll be a good thing for TNA to have these kind of wrestlers back up? Like, I know you love her, but when Black left to do OnlyFans, as a wrestling fan, I'm like, well, you're really good in the ring. I know she had a little trouble in the ring, has like her mental health or stuff like that, but do you feel this 1-year contract will be the best for Black?
I did not know she signed a 1-year deal. I didn't know that.
Fight. It was reported on Fightful.
So we're only going to get her for just 1 year, and if she wants to sign on to do more, okay. But we just got to wait and see what goes on with Elena Black and all the other surprises that TNA might have up their sleeves in 2026. Just look at, we're going to see a new member of the system this coming Thursday on TNA, and I'm going to go out the limb. I think the new member of the system is going to be Tyler Breeze.
Oh.
Because he has history with Fandango, JDC. They're still the exact same person. So I feel Tyler Breeze, he's going to make his way to TNA as the new member of the system. But overall, with Elena Black, with her 1-year deal, we're going to see how she does. If they put a championship on her in this year, okay. And if she gets asked, do you want to sign another deal? I feel she would. And then it could open the door for maybe a WWE return down the road.
It could be. I doubt it. I think she burned the bridges when she did that Hermione interview. Um, let's go on to somewhat more positive. A crazy night in London at Wembley for SmackDown. We had Jacob Fatu come out and beat up both Drew and then get into a fist fight with Cody. More build up between NFT and the Wyatt Six. We know who will be in the final, the Fatal 4-Way at Saturday Night Main Event. Was a really, really good show. Us Brits know how to be a proper wrestling crowd, and we put everybody on notice that we deserve a WrestleMania. What's your take on SmackDown?
SmackDown was a good show. I enjoyed the 3 hour SmackDown. They've been doing good every single week. Hopefully, they keep up this momentum going into WrestleMania, because SmackDown has become unpredictable so far in 2026. I enjoyed all 4 of the Fatal 4-Way matches on, not Fatal 4-Way matches, but the qualifying to the Fatal 4-Way. I knew Randy Orton was going to win. I knew Trick Williams was going to defeat Matt Cardona. I do feel Matt Cardona will be champion someday in WWE. Damian Priest defeating Solo. I knew Damian was going to win by shenanigans with MFTs and the Wyatt Six. And then Sami Zayn, Ilya Dragunov. They know how to put on banger matches, because that was a great match with those two. I knew Sammy was going to get the win, and we're going to get the Fatal 4-Way this coming Saturday with Randy Orton, Damian Priest, Trick Williams, and Sami Zayn from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. I know who I have winning this match on Saturday, but I'm not revealing it until Saturday anyways. But you know who I possibly have anyways. I'll probably surprise people, but overall, I know who's going to win anyways. And then the United States Championship Open Challenge. Carmelo Hayes came out, and then we were waiting to say, okay, who is his opponent going to be? And when I saw Leon Slater, I about shocked. And I said, oh my gosh, it made sense that he had travel issues and WWE wanted to use him for the European tour. And I'm going to say Leon Slater, he's in his 20s. He got a long way to go in professional wrestling. And I'm going to tell you this. I feel Leon Slater is coming to WWE soon rather than later, because I feel Leon Slater only has maybe a couple more matches left in TNA, and I feel WWE is going to buy out Leon Slater's contract in TNA to usher him into the WWE ecosystem. And if I have to pick which brand he would be on, if he would go to Monday Night Raw, I see him teaming up with Javon Evans, because those two work well together, and they did a fabulous job down in NXT when they became a tag team, and also competing against AJ Styles and Drag Lee on Saturday night's main event for John Cena's last final match. If he would go to SmackDown, I don't know what he would do over there. If he goes down to NXT, maybe NXT will work well with him. Maybe he could become an NXT champion before going in the main roster, but time will tell what WWE might be doing with Leon Slater. But overall, SmackDown was a great, solid show. And we got this coming Friday from Montreal, Quebec, Canada, a number one contenders match for the future women's tag team champions. We get Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss versus Julia and Kiana James and Nia Jackson, Lash Legend. I'm going out the limb and says Nia Jackson, Lash Legend are going to get the win. Now, do you think Nick Aldis might add them into the women's tag team championship match on Saturday night's main event? That might be a possibility. Maybe the winner of this triple threat match gets added to the women's tag team championship match. But if not, then whoever wins this will get a future tag team championship opportunity. So I do expect Nia and Lash to get the win. And then we get Damian Priest and Trick Williams this Friday. That's going to be a good match there. Whoever wins that match is going to build momentum going into the Fatal 4-Way on Saturday night's main event. And also, we're going to get Johnny Gargano versus Nathan Frazier this coming Friday on SmackDown. So Friday night SmackDown from Montreal, Quebec, Canada is looking to be a good show again.
Oh, it's looking to be a crazy show, especially in Canada, where even there the fans are crazy. SmackDown was really, really good. I watched Leon Slater for years now on the Progress Wrestling and on the indie scenes here in the UK. And he's got talent, and not just that, he could just do anything that he wants to do, and it's just he is a very unique kind of wrestler, and I really hope that TNA and WWE know what they got with him. The US title, maybe like going. I know Julia has it, but it's looking like she's getting more opponents. It looks like it's going to be Nia and Lash if they lost and Bliss win. Flair and Bliss win the tag team number one contendership next week. Jordan and Grace beating Chelsea. I really enjoyed that match. I like the build up they're doing with Grace and Jade Cargill. And I hate to say this, but Kit Wilson his theme song is rubbing off on me. It's rubbing off on me. Exactly. And if you're just listening to this on the podcast, Rotz did Kit Wilson's post, so he's just like Kit Wilson. I'm looking forward to next week. I'm like you said, SmackDown's been unpredictable, so I really, really hope they carry on with this. And whoever is in charge of SmackDown needs to do a little bit of fairy dust onto Monday Night Raw. Let's get into the big pay-per-view this yesterday. It was really, really big. TNA Genesis. Now, I posted our predictions because we had technical issues yesterday. We couldn't do it. So I have it here if I can find it. Nothing could go wrong when it's live. Where is it? There it is. So, Rotz, do you remember what you predicted?
Yeah, I remember what I predicted.
So, they announced, I think they announced this match before we could do our prediction, like after our predictions, because I can't remember them promoting this match. So let's get into it. Shannon, I just go Stacks with Mrs. Grace. Defeated Eric Young, BDE, and I think he's newly signed. I hope he is. KJ Orso. This is on the pre-show. Who did you have in this one?
I had Stacks to retained, and then KJ Orso. He was the former Friego del Sol.
Yes. And if you don't know anything of what KJ's done, I highly recommend GCW, especially his matches against Stackhouse, because my God, they are brutal. The second match, obviously, like I said, it wasn't announced as much, but it was Tessa Blanchard and Mila Moore with Robert Stone and Victoria Crawford defeated Harley, Indy Hartwell, and Vicious Vicky Vento by pinfall. Are you surprised about this match?
I was surprised about it, but I knew when I saw the Elegance brand out there, I knew that Indy Hartwell and Vicious Vicky was going to lose anyways. And we're going to get M by Elegance versus Indy Hartwell this Thursday on TNA Impact on AMC.
Yes, and Elegance has already said they are going to send Indy back to Australia. So I don't think they will, because Indy, I think they need to put her in the title picture. I think she's lost at the moment. Next match was the start of the pay-per-view. AJ Francis versus Rich Swann. AJ won. Who did you have in this one?
I had AJ, and I feel TNA is, they have AJ Francis. They're building him up as possibly becoming like a future world championship down the road. So I'm glad AJ Francis got the win.
I'm a massive fan of AJ Francis. I had AJ also as predicted, but the stuff he's doing in TNA is his best work, and I love what he's doing in like reality of wrestling and stuff like that. But I agree with you, future world champ. Mustafa Ali, with all the rest of Order 4, defeated Elijah. I had Elijah for this. Who did you have?
I had Mustafa Ali. I feel they need to continue building Mustafa Ali up to maybe challenge for the world championship.
They need more contenders for the main title, because I feel it's just literally just Santana, Kazarian, and Nanef at the moment. Eddie Edwards defeated JDC by pinfall. I had JDC.
I had Eddie Edwards winning, because this is the thing. We all know when you are having your last match, you go on your back, look up at the lights, and that's it. Your career is over. You'll lose your final match, and that is it. You're done. Your career's over, and that's it.
I was hoping for a happy ending. I will admit, I was happy for it. I was hoping for a happy ending. This match made me just Ryan Nenef defeated Murad Sadi. Who did you have?
I had Marshaw Day winning, but I was kind of, when I was seeing that intergender match, that was my first ever TNA intergender match ever. So both Ryan Nemeth and Marshaw Day will become my first TNA intergender match ever in TNA history.
That's crazy. I had Nenef. I just thought the amount of times he's been super kicked by say did for the last couple of weeks, he's bound to win this match. Next match, we had Lee defeating Zara to defend her TNA Knockouts World Championship. I think it was quite obvious, this one, wasn't it?
Yeah, I feel this one's obvious. We both had Lane Lee win, and Elena Black coming out to confront her. I just feel they're just borrowing time until Danny Luna comes back.
Yes.
And I feel Danny Luna is going to become the next Knockout Women's World Championship. Do I expect it to happen at TNA No Surrender or TNA Sacrifice? Probably one of those two events, or they might save it for the next TNA pay-per-view, possibly TNA Rebellion.
I think you might be right with Sacrifice. But we both had Lee on this one. The Hardys defeated the Righteous to defend their TNA World Tag Team titles. I think me and you both had that.
Yeah, we both had the Hardys. And what do I see next at the Righteous? I think the Righteous will become tag team champions someday. Is this going to be the end of their feud? Time will tell, but I just feel like the Hardys, they need to have other teams like maybe Sinner and Sane or even Order 4 to get the tag team championships off of the Hardys. So time will tell what they're going to do next with the Hardys as they continue their reign as TNA tag team champions.
Joe Hendry defeated Cedric Alexander and Muse. Obviously, Joe was the one that replaced Leon Slater, as this was supposed to be a three-way match for the X Division title. I had Muse, and you had Cedric.
Yeah, I had Cedric, and I thought they were going to... The reason I went with Cedric is because of they need to continue building his momentum going for the TNA X Division Championship. And then with Moose, what Leon Slater said, he apologized that he couldn't be there. And both Cedric Alexander and Moose will get an obligated rematch for the TNA X Division champion. What I do expect them to do is have them do singles matches, have maybe start out with Moose first, and then you work towards Cedric Alexander and Leon Slater. But I do expect Leon Slater to drop that TNA X Division championship soon. And who I see being the next champion, if I had to pick between Cedric and Moose, I would go with Cedric Alexander become the next TNA X Division champion.
I went with Muse because I just felt like it built him up a bit more and his momentum, but I don't think this loss will hurt him. I don't think it hurt both of them. I think because it's just Joe Hendry and he's just some crazy format at the moment anyway. It was a really good match, and I highly recommended people watching it again. Main event time. Mike Santana is newly won TNA World title, defends against Frankie Kazarian, where Nick Nemeth has their special guest referee in a Texas death match. I had Santana, and Chris, you had?
I also had Mike Santana, and I'm happy that they kept the championship on Mike Santana. And what we saw at the end, Nick Nemeth almost called his shot to become TNA World Championship, but it got interrupted. Mike Santana did his finisher on Nick Nemeth, and the show ended with Mike Santana still as champion. I feel they should go run with the ball and go for it and give Mike Santana the proper run that he deserves as TNA World Champion. Will Nick Nemeth call his shot down the road? I do expect it. Is he going to be successfully cashing in, or is he going to lose? I don't really know at the moment, but time will tell. And once I figure out the pieces to the puzzle with Nick Nemeth, if he's going to cash in or not, then I'll make my final decision on what will be next. If Nick Nemeth's going to cash in successfully, or is he going to fail with Call His Shot?
It's a good build up. The only reason why I think they made Santana lose this title straight away was because of this. I think they knew about the deal and they just had it in their minds that he'll win it on their debut episode. I think you're right. You'll have it for a good 6 months, I think, and they'll just build up, and I can see Nick Nemeth not having a successful cash in. So that was TNA Genesis, a really good pay-per-view. Definitely, obviously, people were saying better than the show, but like I said, it was a build-up show for the non-TNA loyal fans. Before we go off, there was some news this past week. Powerhouse Hobbs has left AEW and is reported from Fightful that he's going to WWE. What's your take on that one?
My take is, Powerhouse Hobbs and the Ops, they lost the tag team championships last night at AEW Collision to Hangman and Jet Speed. When I found out about the news after AEW went off the air with Powerhouse Hobbs, I just said, oh my gosh, Powerhouse Hobbs is going to succeed in WWE. And I feel he is. He's going to succeed in WWE. I feel Triple H and Shawn Michaels, they're going to book him the proper way. And I see big things with Powerhouse Hobbs. And I know it's been reported that they're gaining the fast track him on the main roster. I would just hold off on the main roster with him and have him work down in NXT for a bit to see how he does before going to the main roster. And I wouldn't be surprised if if Powerhouse Hobbs signs with WWE. I know Ricky Saints is going to be in the ladder match for the NXT Championship. What if Powerhouse Hobbs show up in NXT during the ladder match and he helps his buddy Ricky Saints to become a 2-time NXT champion, and Powerhouse Hobbs could be maybe a bodyguard for Ricky Saints moving forward in NXT.
That's a massive prediction. Also, that's actually some good creative writing there. It's like you should be a GM. Definitely need to speak to Mr. Chapwick and tell him, put you on there. That was a crazy week in professional wrestling. Great shows. We got loads coming up this week with obviously Monday Night Raw in Belfast, NXT. We didn't speak much about AEW this week, but we are watching AEW. We are seeing what AEW's done. New trio champions, the Death Riders versus Don Callis family. So there's a lot going on in AEW, but we will cover it a bit more. Chris, where can people find you, sir?
Where everybody can find me at is on my Instagram, CMROTZ_1316. My Facebook is Christopher Rotz. My X account is CRotz24. I had a blast being on Rotz Report, episode number 14. You will get episode number 15 this coming Saturday, where we're going to be doing the review from Raw Belfast, NXT, AEW, TNA, Friday Night SmackDown, and Matty will tell you what we're going to be doing on Saturday's show, but also we'll be giving our predictions for Saturday night's main event from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. I'm looking forward to Saturday on doing another Rotz Report, and we're just going to be continue doing this until the wheels fall off. So we're on the road to WrestleMania, and always say yeah to NoDQ.com. Also follow Wrestling Pedigree, and always be positive always be positive instead of being negative, and always enjoy professional wrestling and enjoy a brand new week in professional wrestling.
Absolutely. And yeah, always be positive in professional wrestling. There's so much negative, especially online. So we always come on here and give our take on what we think about this past week, but we always do it in a positive flair. We never mean harm. So if you feel like you want to try out and join us, just hit me and Ross up, and we'll figure out how to get you on the show. Just like Ross said about Saturday, I'll give you the whole lineup that we have for this next week. Obviously, we just are in the Rotz Report. Tonight we have the Royal Rumble fantasy booking for Wrestling Pedigree with me and Steve. Tomorrow we have Kane Uncut, 9 o'clock Eastern. Then we have the charity live stream, and it will start at 7 p.m. my time, so it'll probably be around 2 p.m. Eastern. And it's charity live stream, so we'll have the Rotz Report where we look through the past week. We also will be doing a trivia music segment with Rotz Report. We also will have Kane Uncut and other guests on the show. You can find me next Sunday at Progress Wrestling show. So if you see my ugly mug, come say hi. And then that night, me and Steve will be doing the top 10 surprise entrants of Royal Rumbles and stuff like that. So, yeah, a lot of content going on, a lot busy for me and Rotz and Steve and Sonny. We will have some surprises for you in the next couple of months. So keep a lookout, and you can follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, Wrestling Pedigree 92, YouTube, Wrestling Pedigree 92, and follow us on TikTok, which is obviously the same name, Wrestling Pedigree. So with that, from Christopher Ross and myself, have a great week. Enjoy the positivity, and don't be a dick.